Hi guys, this is Nwanya Komobong and welcome to DPRO Visuals. So I went online and I checked for the cheapest lens I could find for micro four thirds camera, and I came up with the CCTV 25mm f1.4. This is a very fast lens and it comes with 2C mount micro tubes and a micro four thirds adapter. When I purchased this lens, I wasn't expecting anything out of the blue, but to my surprise, when this lens arrived, it actually blew my mind. When I got this lens, I wanted to find out how a prime lens is going to feel like, since I was shopping for a 25mm cine lens. So I decided, okay, let me just get this and play with it around and see if this is actually what I want to go for. The lens is small, way smaller than how they look in pictures. To give you perspective, let's look at the size of this lens in comparison to the size of a AA battery or the lumix 12-35 f2.8. This lens is lightweight and they're not going to have any issues in carrying or packing the lens. Build quality. It is made of a quality pro metal and looks like it could take a little beating. But when mounted on the camera, I noticed it rocks back and forth, which could introduce jerky motion when adjusting focus or aperture. Aperture. It is manual, a smooth clickless aperture ring that is easy to operate, located at the front rear of the lens. Meaning, while recording a video and you happen to change the aperture, you won't hear those click sound you get from most lens that has click. Each aperture opens as wide as f1.4. This comes in handy when in low light situation, which micro four thirds camera are generally not great at it. Using any of these micro tubes with this lens, you can achieve amazing shallow depth of field when shooting wide open, especially coming from a camera with a micro four thirds sensor. In case you've not noticed, I'm currently shooting this video with this lens at aperture wide open at f1.4. It's sucking so much light that the current settings of my camera is ISO 100, 25 frames per second, 180 degree. And my key light is currently set at 25% and it is diffused. As you can see, while my background light is also set at 20%. This lens is generally soft along its X and Y axis, although it is less noticeable at night compared to daytime, and some videographers or photographers might find this cinematic, others may not. For me, I don't have a problem with this because I always shoot 4K and I can punch in a little bit while editing on a 1080p timeline. It has a smooth, consistent focus ring, which focuses from infinity to close up with no seizing. This focus ring is almost 360 degrees. This sometimes makes it difficult to do a quick focus pull without having to take your hands off the lens. This might introduce camera shake in handheld situations. Sharpness. So far, if you're able to dial your focus in spot on, you're going to notice that this lens produces a very sharp image, but centered sharp. Once again, based on where the position of the focus is, this might be a little bit tricky. When filming or photographing light sources that are out of focus, you're going to notice that this lens produces decent, beautiful bokeh, although not as gorgeous as the glass from those expensive prime lenses, but to an untrained eye, they may not be able to tell the difference. And you might only really notice the difference if images from these two lenses are placed side by side. Flares. This lens takes in some amount of light flares, which produces that kind of golden washed out look, which some people find is cinematic But if you don't and you want this lens, you would probably look for alternative to block out this light. Price. This lens is very, very cheap. I got this lens for 150 renminbi, which is equivalent to around $21, give or take. And put into consideration the strengths and weaknesses of this lens, which we've stated previously. Who is this lens for? This lens is for someone who wants to own a prime lens but do not have a budget for those expensive or high-end cine lenses. You could pick up one of these lenses. It could be the 25mm, the 35mm, or the 50mm, and see which of this focal length which you're more comfortable shooting in. And when you're ready, you can decide to purchase your expensive high-end prime or cine lenses. Or that photographer or videographer who would like to go lightweight like me, or wants to be invisible in the scene. I call that the ninja mode. You could go in with this lens. It looks like a toy. You get high quality images or videos and leave without anybody noticing that you're doing something serious or people freaking out. And that's it, guys. This is a quick review of the CCTV lens 25mm f1.4. Ever since I've got this lens has always been in my camera bag. It comes in handy in low light situation, in situations which I want to have that cinematic kind of feel, softness, a blurred out background, bokeh, and all those good stuff. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and click the bell button so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. If you like this video, please click the like button. It helps improve my channel in terms of algorithm and increase the chances of more people seeing this video. For the meantime, remain blessed and remember, it's either you go pro or you go home. Bye for now.